Hi everybody, I'm Bill Sanders and this is Watch Art Sci, the art and science of watch collection. What I want to talk about today is really, I suppose, three things. One thing is my favorite frequency. Another thing is my favorite type of dual barrels. And the third thing is a watch that has both of those features in it that's affordable. Now, the first one is 18,000 semi-oscillations per hour, also known as 2.5 hertz. This particular watch, this is by Lang & Hein. It's pictured there on the left. It's called a caliber 6, and it ticks at 18,000 semi-oscillations per hour. Okay, the one on the right is by Farbe-Luba, Farbe-Luba 259, and it also ticks at 18,000 semi-oscillations per hour. Why do I like this? Well, there's when I looked at all the top watchmakers, including this one by Lang & Hein, which is by Marco Lang, one to me the top German watchmaker, and I looked at watches by top French watchmakers, Philippe Dufour, Cartier Lannon, English watchmakers, uh, Roger Smith, for example. All of these top guys were using these much lower frequencies. So I thought, there must be something to it. And so it's been a frequency I've always liked. I've had this watch for a number of years now and just love it. It's a wonderful watch. This is very much a fancy one. The problem is that it's expensive. Those things are, I think they're probably close to $30,000 now. So that's sort of out of, I have watches I can no longer afford, I'll put it that way. Now, the other thing was with double barrels in parallel. Double barrels in and of themselves is nothing to write home about. I mean, in order to have a longer reserve, if you put in two barrels, you're going to have it longer than one. Your watch will run until it runs out of gas, and then the next barrel will kick in. And so instead of having, let's say, 40 hours, it'll have 80 hours. It's called double barrels in series, okay? But double barrels in parallel is pretty hard to find, and when you find them, you find a very expensive watch to go along with it. This what I'm showing here is an only watch by F.P. Journe. It's called Caliber 1522. However, he also in his Chronomet Souverain and the Chronomet Blue and most of the other Chronomet lines, they also had these double barrels in parallel. What's a double barrel in parallel? Double barrel in parallel, instead of having them when one poops out, the other one kicks in, what they do is they work together. Now, I've mentioned this before in other videos, but when we look at the ones that have it, they're expensive. I mean, they're really, I mean, they're nice watches, but they're expensive watches. I have no idea. This is another one I couldn't afford today. These things are going $40, $50, $60,000 for us, but just a plain vanilla F.P. Journe Chronomet Souverain or Coronet Blue, all of the ones. And this is an only watch, so it'll probably go for a lot. Now at the bottom there, you can see they have the two barrels, and they're working together on a single larger gear. Now to the right, the Farbe-Luba has also the two barrels, and you can see it a little clear how they're going to the top of the wheel train, and both of them working together. And again, this is for constant force. So with two barrels working together, you're going to have a smoother and constant pressure, and so better timing with that. Well, like I said, you look around and you cannot find watches they either have one or the other. Like this one, I think is 21,500 or 600, 21,003 hertz. Okay, but it does have the double barrels in parallel. This one is 18,000 semi-oscillations per hour. It's only got one barrel. All right. What watch has both of these in it that is affordable? Well, this Farbe-Luba caliber I've been mentioning is in a watch called the Farbe-Luba Twin Power. Now, this was from the 1960s, so it's it would very much come under the rubric of vintage, but I had no problem finding them. There were quite a few out there, and they're very inexpensive. This one right here, I bought it. It'll be here someday. 80 bucks. Yeah, it's a nice watch. 35 millimeters, a little small, but watches of that time are. But here is a way that you can get a really great horology in a single watch. You can get the double barrels in parallel, and you can get what I call sort of the craftsman's, the true artist timing frequency at 18,000 semi-oscillations per hour. Let me know what you think. This is an opportunity to subscribe if you like. Until next time, this is Bill Sanders for Watch Art Sci, the art and science of watch collection.